In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a funnel and then share that funnel with anybody that wants to use it. I'm going to create a video after this that's going to look like this. In other words, I'm going to show you how to create a funnel with this look and feel and design. So be on the lookout for that. So I'm going to assume right now that you want to create a funnel for a company outside of the Power Lead system. Now, this video is going to show you how to do a funnel, whether you're promoting it, for the Power Lead system or not. But I'm gonna make this video assuming that you're promoting something other than the Power Lead system. So whether you're promoting the Power Lead system or a company outside, this video will help you either way. So let's suppose right now that I'm promoting a company called ACN. Just an example. And what I need to do right now is I need to determine what I want my prospects to land on, not only within the funnel, but maybe also in the autoresponder campaign. So I can add to this later. So all I'm going to do right here to start out is click on step 3, companies I promote. And I'm going to come to this drop-down menu. And I'm going to look for ACN because this is what we're going to use in our example. And these are in alphabetical order. Now, if you needed more codes than just 2, all you have to do is let us know here. If you have an offer, a product, a company that you don't see on this list that you want added, just put it here and click save and we'll get that right away. All right, so again, you can come back and add to these later. Let's just start out with a couple just so we have something there. All right, so I'm going to start out with ACN1. And what I'm going to do is just highlight it and click here to save. And what I'm going to do, if I was an ACN distributor, I would want to put, and this is up to you to decide. This is just going to be, I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to put my getting started ACN URL here. So I did that earlier. I went and found one. I'm just going to paste it right there. I'm going to click here to save. And I can always click right here just to see that I've got the right one. So yeah, I guess that's right. I've got a lot of terms and conditions, and that's the getting started process. All right, so I've got that correct. And let me say this. When you're giving the instructions to the people that are going to be using your funnel, you're simply going to instruct them, hey, if you're going to be using my funnel, make sure that this is the URL that you put into ACN1. Instruct them to put the getting started URL, maybe with some brief instructions on how to find it. But if they're a distributor of ACN, they're pretty much going to know, what you're talking about. So that's up to you to basically, give those instructions. Now, let's say that in my autoresponder campaign, I wanted to have a message that says, click here to friend me on Facebook or something like that. So I might want to instruct the people that are going to be using my ACN funnel, okay, for ACN2 to put in your personal Facebook URL. And this is just an example. And you'll see how all of this fits together as we go through this, because you'll actually be surprised how simple all of this really is. Okay, so I'm not going to put my personal one in there. If I was creating this for real, I definitely would. So I've now instructed, my people using this funnel, my ACN downline or whatever, what I want for ACN1 and what I want for ACN2. And as long as they've done that correctly, then everything that I create is going to work perfectly for them and their prospects. Okay, so I've got that out of the way. Now I'm going to go to what I'm going to do now, and it doesn't really matter what order you do this. I'm going to create my funnel. I'm going to create the web pages within the funnel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over websites, and I'm going to hover over web pages, and I'm going to click on create web pages. And I don't need an opt-in form because I'm creating a sales page right now, okay? So I'm going to click here, says that does not use an opt-in form. And the template that I'm going to use right here is called content appears on time delay. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click choose, and now I'm going to label it. So I'm going to label this, for simplicity's sake, page 1 of ACN funnel. And then I'm going to update my title. Now, I've got another video that goes through and walks you through how to make these look absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because my focus today is just letting you know how to do this on a funnel type of basis. So, you know, you can pull images off of Google. You can grab an image we already have. Obviously, I would not use the Power Lead system if I was creating an ACN funnel, but since this is just an example, I'm going to go ahead and do it. All right, so it walks me through the steps right here. So I've already edited my title, the top. Now I'm going to click on Edit Bottom. Now you can decide if you want those buttons to be delayed or not. Obviously, you're going to want buttons. Okay, so I told my system that I want the content to appear with no delay, that yes, I want buttons. And here's where you could put a delay if you wanted, and then click that circle. And so if this is the first page of my funnel, in other words, this is the first page that my prospect is going to land on after they opt in. Okay, so my button on the left, I'm going to want to say watch the next video, because I'm going to have a second page in this funnel. And I don't care, I have not created the page that is going to link to yet. All right, so I'm just going to leave that blank for now. I'm not going to do anything here yet. The text on button 2, I'm going to put click here to get started. Now, if you remember, all right, right here, where do I want this button to link to? I want it to link to ACN1. Okay, whenever you create a code where I just showed you, where we started this video, it automatically puts it in that drop-down menu. So as long as you've done what I showed you at the beginning, you already know that ACN1 is the getting started URL. So that's all there is to it right there, and that's all I want. Now, obviously, you can create more videos down here, more content. You can make this sales page as complex, as long, as beautiful as you want. I'm just going to skip it. I'm going to click Save My Changes. Okay, let's make a background color here. Again, this isn't really important for me right now because this is just an example. So what I'm going to do is save my changes there. And now I'm going to click the video location. Now, I'm going to assume that you want to pull a video from YouTube or Vimeo, something like that. And now think about this. This could be a company video that ACN has provided you, maybe a sizzle video, maybe a webinar, maybe a presentation that you put together, maybe a slideshow presentation that you've recorded. This is the first page of your funnel, so it's up to you to create something compelling or use something compelling that's been provided for you, or that you've created. So because this is just an example, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a PLS video, and we're just going to pretend that this is a powerful ACN high converting video. All right, so I'm just going to put that on the first page of my funnel. I'm going to click Save Changes, and now I can look at it. And it looks like I need to adjust that background color a little bit. But anyways, you get the idea. Watch the next video. Remember, I haven't created the page that links to yet. And then click to get started. That is going to bring me to that sign up page that I showed you earlier. And for some reason okay, there, it just came up. There's a delay on their site for some reason. All right, so Now, if you don't want that to pop up into a new window, I'll show you what to do. So let me go back and edit this page just a little bit. And let me set that background color a little darker. And let me look at this again. And I'm going to assume this is page 1.
You're about to discover
of my ACN funnel. All right, so now I gotta create the page that this button connects to. All right, so that's what I'm going to do next. And here's the easiest and simplest way to do exactly that. What you're going to do is you're going to hover over websites, and you're going to hover over web pages and click on my web pages. And you'll notice that's the page that I just created, right? Called page 1 of ACN funnel. Well, all you're going to do is click on copy. All right, so now what I'm going to label this is obviously, right, page 2 of ACN funnel. And then click update title. And now everything's exactly the same. I would change my headline, obviously. Now, when I went to the bottom, I don't want 2 videos. Now, I might, or 2 buttons, but I might. If you were creating more pages within this funnel, you would just duplicate that step that I just showed you. But I'm only creating 2 pages, so I'm going to cut this last page off with just 1 button. So I don't want any delay. Okay, I've got that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this. So now underneath that video, all I have is just 1 button that says click here to get started. And so I've already got that assigned to where it's supposed to be. So that's all there is to it. Now, I've already got that. Now, as far as the video, obviously you're going to want another video for that second page. So again, let's just assume that this is maybe an ACN webinar or something that you want your prospects to see on this second page. And so I'm going to paste that in here. And I'm going to save that. And now let's take a look at it. All right. So
as a member of the Power Lead system,
I've got the second page of my funnel, and that click to get started goes to the getting started page of ACN. And now what I want to do is I want to just double check everything. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to my web pages. I'm going to go to page 1. I'm going to test my link, and I'm going to look at it. So here's page 1 of the
you're
funnel.
about to
And again, I understand this is really ugly, okay? If you're going to create something on your own, you're going to take the time to really get that color in the background to match. You're going to maybe have 3 buttons below your video and not 2. Maybe you're going to have 3 or 4 pages in your funnel. But this is the basics to show you how to get started. And I'm blowing through this pretty fast. So obviously you can rewind and check everything out again. So I'm gonna test this button out, make sure that works. Okay, now that popped up into a new window. So let me go back and find out why that happened. So let me go back and edit this and edit the bottom. Now click here to get started. Oh, I forgot to click it right there. Okay, so save my changes. All right, so let's go back and review this again. And that's why we double check things. We always want to make sure everything's working just as you want it to work. Okay, so here I've got
you're about to discover.
Click here to get started. Perfect, it went right there. Okay, now watch my
You're about to discover a product in.
All right, well that didn't go to the right spot. So this is why we double check things, okay? So let's go back to page 1, and I'm going to click on edit, and I'm going to go to edit the bottom. Why did this second but not go to where it was? Watch the next video. Ah, that's why. I forgot to assign button 1. All right, so this button right here on my first page, I need to direct that to a page in my website. Well, the beautiful thing about whenever you create a page within your your system like I just did, it's always going to show up right here in this drop-down menu. So all I got to do is find it. I'm looking for something called ACN page 2 right here. There we go. All right. Okay, now that I've done, see what I did? It says button 1 links to, and I clicked right here where it says a page in my website, and I found the page that I created called page 2 of ACN Funnel, because that's where this button is going to go to. I've just told it that. So now I'm going to click Save Changes. All right, now I'm going to go back and test it again. So let me test it, make sure everything's right. All right, got my first video. Click to get started. That works. Okay, I click my back arrow. Watch the next video. There we go.
As a member of the Power.
So now that I've got my funnel done, what I'm going to do is I am going to create an autoresponder campaign for this. Now I'm just going to show you this really quick. There's other videos to show you how to put together a campaign. So I'm going to hover over email, voice, and text, hover over email, and click on add campaign. I'm just going to label this ACN. I'm going to click create this campaign. I'm just going to create it from scratch. And the first thing I'm going to do is click add a new email to this campaign. And I'm just going to put ACN for now. I'll change the subject line after I have a chance to think about it. But I'm going to click add this email. And now I can edit this email. So I'm going to click view edit. All right, so the first thing I want to do, now depending on whether you're using a lead capture page that asks for your prospect's first name or not, is obviously going to dictate whether or not you are using the first name code. Okay, if you're asking for the first name on a lead capture page, obviously stick it in there, comma, check out ACN. It's great. All right, so if I wanted to bring them back to that page 1 video that I just created, see the presentation again here. And so I could highlight that. I've already typed it. So what I'm going to do is just go up to my browser and I'm going to click copy. And this little section right here allows me to create a clickable link from a page within my website system or my PLS system. So I'm going to paste that there, and then I'm going to find where I want it to link to. I want it to link to that page I just created. And if you remember, I want it to link to page 1 of the ACN funnel. Now I could skip page 1 and have it link directly to page 2 if I wanted. You can do that how you want. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click add. Now, when your prospects receives this, all they're going to see is a clickable, the words are going to be clickable. It's going to say, see the presentation again here. And when they click on that, it's going to bring them to that first page of the funnel that I just showed you that I just created. Isn't that cool? All right, so now, assuming you always want to end this, don't put your name here, don't put your name like that, because other people are going to be using this funnel, right? So you always want to end it with my first name, because that's going to create a code. My last name, whatever else you want to put. My phone, and then go down here. Put a wrong place. Put a space there. Drop that down. You get the idea, right? Okay, so that's the first email. I've got a link that goes to the presentation, and I'm going to click, hello, ACN is breaking all records. Whatever. Okay, you get the idea. So now, if I wanted to create another email in this campaign, I'm going to click add a new email. ACN is great. is going to be the subject line. I'm going to click add this email, and day 0 means it's going to go out instantly. This is the second email, so I need to put day 1. So once I put day 1, I'm going to save my changes, and now I'm going to edit this. Okay, so I may want to put their first name code here again, depending on whether or not the lead capture page asks for it. Assuming I wrote them an email, the copy is fantastic and everything, and I get to a point and I just say, get started here. And I did this little thing. All right, so now I want to make that clickable, right, to go to my ACN Getting Started page. And obviously I want this to work for all the other people using my funnel. So I'm just going to highlight that. I'm going to copy it, because actually it's going to be pasted over here in a second. And I'm going to go to this section here. And I'm going to paste it in there. Oops, I did that wrong. Let me copy this again. And let me paste it right here. All right, so now if you remember ACN1, right, that's the getting started URL that we typed in at the very beginning. So I'm going to click add, and what that does, now I have a clickable link that when my prospects see it, it's going to say get started here. When they click on it, that's going to bring them to my ACN Getting Started page. And remember, if you will, I instructed my people using this funnel to enter their personal Facebook URL. So I could put something like, you know, PS visit my, or you know, friend me on Facebook. Friend me on Facebook here. All right. So now I want to make that clickable, right? So I'm just going to highlight this, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to paste that right here. And remember, it's not ACN1, it's ACN2. And I'm going to add that. All right, and you see that it just made this code. So when my prospect gets this, they see it, they notice that that's clickable. That's going to bring them directly to my personal Facebook page, as long as I have correctly entered that in under companies I promote. Now, I'm going to create another video that's going to show you how to create a beautiful template that has a video in it. So if you want to send your prospects to a different video every single day of the week, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. It's real simple, and it's going to give you the most incredible, amazing autoresponder campaign. But that'll give you the basics, what I just showed you, on how to get started and to create this campaign for everyone to be able to use it. Okay, so I'm going to save my changes. Okay, I've got my autoresponder campaign done. I could add, obviously, as many messages that I want. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go choose my lead capture page. Okay, we're almost done here. Now, let's say that I wanted to edit a lead capture page, and I wanted to use that edited lead capture page as the first page in my funnel. So I'm going to click here where it says click here to make me a copy. Now you don't have to edit it. This is just showing you how much flexibility you actually do have. I'm going to edit this one here, and I'm going to scroll all the way down and click make me a copy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to title this, and it might even be a good idea just to copy it, just so you can label it what you want. ACN lead capture page. And this is what people are going to see in the title tag. You can leave that like it is if you want. All right, so select a domain. This is not important right now because this is not going to affect your funnel, so you can skip to step 2. The autoresponder campaign, well, that is important. I've already created it, and it's called ACN. That's the autoresponder campaign that I want attached to this lead capture page. Now, step 4, what page do I want my prospects to land on after they opt into this lead capture page? Well, that's easy. I want them to go to a page in my website. And obviously the one I want them to go to is called, you remember what I labeled it. It's always going to show up here in this drop-down menu, whatever you create in your system, right there, page 1 of ACN funnel. And I'm going to click Save My Changes. Now, discover an amazing secret, and this is going to be funny, called ACN. Great headline, right? Okay, so I've got that done. I'm going to click Save My Changes. And, you know, you always want to maybe take a look at it. All right, so there it is. I've got my lead capture page. I've got everything hooked up the way I want it hooked up. Why don't I go ahead and assign this to a domain? And so I'm going to go back. I'm going to click Edit Basics. And let me just go ahead and create a domain for this right now. Okay, a subdomain, I should say, ACN. Okay, so I'm going to select a domain, acn.mydomain, and save my changes and review. And that's it. I've got this complete funnel set up exactly how I want it. So I'll show you that this is working. Okay. And I'm going to submit. And there we go.
You're about to discover a product.
Watch the next video.
As a member of the Power Lead system, you'll have.
All right, so I've got my funnel done. I've got my autoresponder campaign done. Now I want to share this with 1,000 people in ACN. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over websites and I'm going to click on Sales Funnel Duplicator. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double check and say, yep, this is the funnel that I want to duplicate. Remember, I just attached it to this subdomain. So I'm going to click, this is it right here, the ACN lead capture page, and it's all right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, it's a new code. So I'm going to create a new code called ACN, and I've got that typed in. Now that is not case sensitive, so if they don't use capital letters or not, that's not going to matter. So as you notice, I just typed that in there, and then here's a short description. I'm just going to call it ACN funnel, and describe this the best you can. Well, I want it to be in the section called Become a Prospect for whatever I want, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second, so just leave that there. Now, what is cool is you can actually use and add a screenshot of this up here, I guess. I didn't know I was required to do that. Now you're probably going to want to do something a lot bigger. Okay, so I'm going to find that here, and I'm going to click duplicate. All right, so now that I've got this funnel duplicated, here's the code right here that I'm going to give anybody that wants to use this particular funnel. All right, so let me go. What I've done is I copied it. I'm just going to put it, over here so you can see it really big. And I'm going to paste that right here. And let me just show you here. So that's it. That's the code. Now anybody that puts this code where I'm about to show you is going to be able to use this funnel exactly, how they want. They can copy it. They could use it as is, whatever. Now again, as the person who creates this funnel, you're going to want to give directions to whoever you give this code to. You're going to want to have something laid out where it says, hey, go to the companies I promote section. I want you to add your ACN getting started page URL to ACN1. I want you to add your, for example, your personal Facebook URL to ACN code 2 because I'm going to be using that in the autoresponder. You may have 2 or 3 or 4 other outside ACN websites that you want to bring everybody's prospects to. So, you'll need to let us know that we need to add more codes, and we can do that. So anybody that you give that code to, all they're going to do is follow these simple steps. And like I said, obviously you're going to lay out the instructions for them, but here's what they're going to do. They're going to hover over websites, they're going to hover over web pages, and they're going to click on My Sharing Codes. They're going to take that code that you gave them, the one that you created for your funnel, and they're going to paste that right there. Just like that. See that? And click Submit. And that's it. Code added. All right. Now anybody using that code, where they're going to find that content, okay, assuming you created a funnel, is in their website section, because they're going to have the opportunity, all right, to attach that funnel to whatever subdomain or domain that they want. Now remember, I said it was in the section called Become a Prospect for Whatever I Want. Okay, so that funnel is going to be in this section right here. And again, all I did is I clicked on websites, and I'm in the section called Become a Prospect for Whatever I Want. And look at this. Right on top, it says Sales Funnels Created for You. The one you want is called ACN Funnel. It should be right on top. And again, I'm showing you what your prospects, not prospects, but anybody using your funnel, this is what they're going to be doing when they get your code. Okay, so they're going to paste it in where I showed you, come to the website section. They're going to choose the domain or subdomain that they want to attach it to. So let me do that. Let me create a subdomain that I want to attach this to. So I'm going to click on Domains, and I'm going to create a subdomain called ACN dot this main domain. So I'm going to create that, and I'm going to go back to websites. And so now I've got a brand new subdomain. I need to get in the right section here. And I want to attach this entire funnel to that subdomain, which I'm doing. And that's it. I am now a person that is using this funnel that was created for me. Oh, but don't forget, I would also need to do a couple of more steps. And by the way, you can see that everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. I'm going to go back to getting started, because if I was setting up this funnel, remember, I would need to enter my ACN getting started page. So I would go to step 3, and remember, I'm the guy using the funnel that was created. It was created for me, and my instructions are to go to ACN here and to enter my ACN getting started URL. Okay, that's my personal ACN getting started URL. So I'm going to click here to save, and I want to test that to make sure it works, and it does. Great. And then I also had instructions to type in my personal Facebook URL, which I'm going to do right now on ACN2. I highlight it, click here to save, and I'm just going to type that in, assuming, obviously I'm going to type in my personal Facebook URL. And now I'm done. Okay, I'm completely done. I am ready to use that website and start marketing that funnel. So I know this was a long video. Hopefully you can fast forward through parts if you watch it again. I tried to be as thorough as I could. I've got more videos coming, but this should get you off to a really good start and give you a much better understanding of how this works. So good luck.